There is so much that the media is getting wrong about the border situation, and it's undermining the government's ability to do its job. Part of the reason this is so hard for the Biden administration is that the Trump administration did so much to break what's happening at the border. For example, the Obama administration had set up in-country processing for children as well as for adults who were fleeing danger. The Trump administration dismantled it. The Trump administration broke with precedent and with law by essentially encountering kids who were traveling alone and not letting them enter, just leaving them to their own devices, which it is unthinkable, but we did it. So the Biden administration properly has made the decision, for which they're being challenged, that when faced with a kid who's by themselves, they're letting them in and protecting them. Trump administration also broke the shelter system that's intended for unaccompanied migrant children. It was turning over information about the parents of those children to DHS for enforcement purposes, which undermined any trust that you could have that the system was really going to protect children. That makes it much harder to rebuild a system which is designed to shelter kids who just took this trip alone. One of the worst things the Trump administration did was prevent asylum applicants from getting to the United States altogether, right? They created a humanitarian catastrophe in Mexico, tens of thousands of people awaiting the opportunity to say that they need asylum. And the Biden administration is being forced to clean that up in the middle of a pandemic, which is, of course, adding to the degree of difficulty. The law hasn't been reformed meaningfully really since the 1990s, which is an incredibly long time. I mean, the internet was new. Google didn't exist yet the last time that Congress actually addressed immigration law. A big part of our problem is that Congress needs to do its job. One of our problems is that all of the infrastructure at the border, from the law itself to the physical buildings and the training for border personnel, is all built for the border we used to have 25 years ago, when our big challenge was single adults coming from Mexico. The border we have now is completely different in the sense that the challenge we're facing is families coming from Central America and unaccompanied migrant children. Part of the challenge that we're seeing with children coming, with being brought by smugglers, is that they have parents in the United States who came years ago. They left their children with grandparents or with other relatives and came to earn a living and to be able to provide for their families. If we had passed the legalization program that some of us have been trying to pass now for 20 years, those parents would be lawfully in the United States and they would be able to use the legal immigration system to bring their children. And we wouldn't have this problem with unaccompanied migrant children. So in a way, a big part of what we're experiencing is the result of Congress failing to do its job. For all of the noise coming from the media, we are forgetting that this is a solvable problem. We can address the long-term reasons that people migrate. That's not a quick answer, but it is an essential one. And we can do border processing much better than we do. That means creating facilities that recognize that that people have been fleeing great danger and have been through a lot as they undertake the trip. Get people answers on their asylum applications quickly so that they can get on with their lives, provide them with proper housing and medical care and the other things that they need in the interim. All of this is achievable. It hinges on being able to get answers quickly in the asylum system. And this is something that the administration can do on its own. It doesn't need the help of Congress to get there. And I think that's the path that they're on, but it will take some time and it will take stepping back from the hysteria of the moment.